Well, hey, women at IBC. I hope some of you are joining us. So, we are my name's Jodie Niznik. I'm the adult ministries pastor, and I'm coming to you live from a remote location. We have snuck away to a little cabin to work from just a different space. And so it's good to be with you. So, no, I'm not in an attic. I know I've had people ask me, are you in an attic? No, I'm actually not stuck in an attic. You don't need to come rescue me. We are just in a different location. So, we are in chapter 4 of Chasing Vines, lesson 4. And this lesson is all about the fruit. But I'm telling you, I think Beth is a little tricky about this lesson because really it's more about roots and having deep roots that actually hold us in time of trial. And it's when we're held in that time of trial that actually we can produce fruit. And it's also about pestilence, which is the attack of the enemy and how we need to resist the attack of the enemy to be fruitful followers of Jesus. So that's where you're going in this lesson, and that's where you're going to dive in. And I know you have 2 weeks to do this lesson, so I really want to encourage you, dig into it. There's some really good stuff in here. The thing that impacted me the most in this lesson, or one of the things that impacted me the most in this lesson, is one of the things that places that she went right at the beginning. And she talks about these events in our lives that forever mark us into before and after. And I feel like we are in one of those events collectively as an entire world. There will be before COVID-19 and after COVID-19. And when we find ourselves in this crossed over the line, what we long for is we long to go back. We long for, remember when it was normal. We long for normalcy. And I don't know about you, but I have been longing for normalcy. Like, I long to go into a grocery store and not wear a mask and not have to wipe down my entire shopping cart before I go in there. I long to go to a restaurant and sit next to people and not be worried about where they've been. I long to shake hands with a stranger that I've met because that feels kind and that's what I was taught to do. I long to sit next to somebody I don't know at church and sing with them and then to introduce myself. I long for so many things to just go back to the way that they used to be. So I don't know what you're longing for. You may be longing for all of those things. You may be longing for the economy to return, for your job to come back, maybe for death to not have come visited your heart because somebody you love has passed away. Maybe you long for racial injustice to finally be eradicated. I know I am longing for that. So the thing is, while some of these things may actually be restored, we may be restored back to a place where we get to shake hands with strangers again. Wouldn't that be weird? Or we get to blow out birthday candles and blow on a cake and then people eat it. Those are weird things that maybe we'll get back to that normal place. But the truth is, and Beth points this out, we're actually not invited to go back. We're only invited to move forward. And so while we may long for this normalcy of what the days were behind us, we're actually only invited to move into the future. And we're only invited in to move to what tomorrow will be. One of the things that she asks us to ponder is the question, is it worth it? And you'll get to this part in your lesson, but I really love how she unpacks this question of, is it worth it? And she actually challenges us to really reframe that question to asking, instead of, is it worth it? Because the truth is, losing a loved one is never worth it. Losing a job and struggling financially is never worth it. Like, we will never say, oh yeah, I would totally do all of that again. And that's okay. Because the better question is, did it matter? And does it matter? And it does matter because Jesus is worth it. See, Jesus is the one who actually we can hope in. Jesus is the one that is worthy of our trust. Jesus is the one who's fully dependable. And so while we may never want to travel this road again, this season that we've been in, it does matter because God is a God who actually takes things and he makes them matter because Jesus is truly worth it. So I just want to invite you to dig into this lesson. Remember that the invitation is for us to move forward and not to go back. We don't get to go back. So let's move forward with Jesus. Um, and dig in especially to that second part of the lesson where you talk about pestilence, where you talk about the enemy's attack. Because let me tell you, I feel like he is on high alert these days. He is coming after us in our community, in the church, through just a really divided world that we live in right now. And so dig into that part of the lesson as well. Well, we will look forward to seeing you this Tuesday, October 13th, in person at our in person gatherings. We're not going to be talking about lesson 4. We're going to be talking about just connecting with one another and being in physical space with one another, safe, social distance space, of course. And then we'll actually talk about this lesson the following week with your small group. So I hope you are doing well and lean in. We've got a lot of good things to learn this week. See you later.